Now let's head on to our two market analysts who have just listened in to Governor Eli's responses. We have invited back Manny Ocampo, Senior Managing Director of the Investment and Capital Corporation of the Philippines, and roped in Jonathan Ravelas, who expected a 25 basis point rate cut. He is the Managing Director, E-Management for Business and Marketing Services, and Senior Advisor for Reyes Takandong and Company. So good to see you, gentlemen. A very happy Hearts Day.
Morning, Kathy.
All right. I wanted to take you, Manny, first. You immediately came to mind when the news broke. You said last Wednesday that you were taking a contrarian view and that you were right. What stood out for you and what the Governor Eli just shared moments ago?
Well, I was going on, really inflation had not come down from the December print, and then January print came off. And, that was, I thought that the BSP would maybe take a more cautious stance on that one and see how inflation came off the 2.9 level. I was surprised, maybe I'll say that much, that the governor raised concerns on, global economic policies. So that's, I guess, in short, that's really what the President Trump will do next, kind of concern or kind of uncertainty. So, him raising that, it's a new thing. First, I've heard of it from the official side. So,
Jonas, you took the street's view of a 25 bips rate cut. What do you make of the market reaction so far? Peso strengthens and the PSEI falls.
Okay, eventually the 25 basis point cut was actually brought about by the big concern on the fourth quarter. As you know, it's the biggest quarter where we get to see a lot of consumption, and we saw a real big drop. So the economy needs a nudge. And in December 19, I was actually looking at 50, but they gave the 25. So I worry that given the concerns of Manny highlighted on inflation, if we're not able to, add a little bit of less pressure on cost of doing business, then definitely it's going to, growth will eventually slow down. So that will be a challenge. Although I understand the statements of the governor given on global policy uncertainty, and I think even the movements of the pace of the stock market today, when in doubt, pull out. No, I think the key idea is really to still stay away for now till probably we get to see clearer sign of what's expected from Trump. Although we already know what happened in Trump 1.0, from a high of 9,000 in 2018, we saw the stock market falling further, and we went to a pandemic low of 4,000. So until such time we get to see more signs that the Philippine economy is stable enough, then that's the time we'll probably see the stock market probably hitting a floor. The peso, on the other hand, I think is just going to be range bound between 57.75 to probably at the highs of 58.50, given as the governor highlighted, he wants a range bound, so to speak, taking cue from what he said. We don't want, he doesn't want large swings. So I think the range bound is actually good for the economy for now.
I found it really interesting when the governor said they were using 3 models and they were going to collaborate with central banks on how they're interpreting, the models are interpreting what Trump is doing next. So para bang ang pampuksa kay Trump ay mga models. Now I wanted to know from your end, the balance between art and science. How do you think the central bank will recalibrate all this? Now that it was a surprise, they didn't make a move, what could be a surprise when they meet in April? Manny.
I'll say that numbers will have to show up first. If inflation, I guess I'll say that if inflation comes off 50 basis points from between April and March, going into the April meeting, they probably should have more leeway for a rate cut at that time. By that time, maybe Trump's policies would be clearer. It's the uncertainty you're taking out. So if there's direction out there, then maybe people settle down and people figure out from there. You take out the uncertainty. I think that's maybe that's the art in those, but that the models can't figure out at this point, Kathy.
That's true. Jonas, what are you betting on for April?
Oh, well, okay. Basically, I think as we move towards the second quarter, I think there will be a lot of difficulty to probably for the BSP to cut. And that's the reason why they started the balloon on the reserve requirement. So most likely it could be, although it is not part of monetary policy, it is just meant to be able to lessen the cost of business. Cutting reserve requirements will at least lessen the friction cost, and it will allow more lending to prosper because
Okay.
there's liquidity.
Got
But
that.
again,
Yeah.
with that, I think the risk really is on the inflation pressure moving forward.
All right, I'm taking notes of everything you're saying. Thank you so much to you both, gentlemen, for taking the time to listen in to Governor Eli's comments and watch the markets together.